Apostrophes are those little single quote marks that you see in between letters. They're used for a few different things, including contractions and possessives. I'm going to discuss both of those here. Contractions are two words that are combined together and shortened. For example, wasn't, can't, couldn't, things of that nature. They're not usually encouraged in academic writing due to their informality, but they're much more common in business writing because they're very casual and friendly. So you're definitely allowed to use contractions in your writing as long as you do it correctly. Contractions should always create an apostrophe. For example, you are would become your. It is would become its. Be careful of the common colloquial mistakes that people make with contractions. For example, there'll be a price to pay. This translates to they will be a price to pay instead of there will be a price to pay, which is what you were trying to say. The correct way to write this would be there'll be a price to pay. Then this makes more sense. Apostrophes are also used for the possessive. It conveys ownership of something. For example, this is Sarah's business proposal. There's an apostrophe after Sarah's name and an S. That shows that the business proposal belongs to Sarah. For words ending in S, such as boss, the possessive apostrophe goes at the end of the word. For example, the employees worked around the clock to meet the boss's revenue goals. In this case, the revenue goals were set by the boss. But because boss ends in S, we put the apostrophe at the end of the word. This is also the case for plural possessives. The employees worked around the clock to meet the boss's revenue goals. This is referring to multiple bosses and the revenue goals that these many bosses set. In this case, you also put the apostrophe at the end of the word because it ends with S. There are some exceptions to the possessive rule. For example, this is a very common mistake people make. You never use a possessive apostrophe for hers, ours, or its. For example, the company is entering its last quarter. If you leave that apostrophe in after the word it'll say it is last quarter, which makes no sense. You're talking about the last quarter that belongs to that company. It should be the company is entering its last quarter without the apostrophe. Apostrophes are useful for shortening words and conveying meaning, but misusing them can completely change the meaning of your sentence. So be sure to follow these rules so that your sentences come off the correct way.